How long is too long to wait before you decide to change your career before getting some serious obstacles in your way? No one can tell you for sure without looking at your personal circumstances, but I will try in this video to give you some general advice. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Dimitri. In case you're new here, I'm a business transformation coach, career coach, and the founder of Join Agile Initiative. Today, I'd like to bring to your attention one question that keeps coming up, either directly, people ask me that question, or indirectly. I kind of just observe certain situation and this question is implicitly there in the background. How long is it too long to wait before you decide to change a job? Before you decide to change your career as a whole, or just even simply apply for other roles that are on the market, even within your industry, even without majorly changing your career, staying a developer, staying a Scrum Master, staying a product owner. Well, again, as I said kind of in that very quick intro phrase, it is very hard to tell without me looking at your specific circumstances, who you are, what do you do, how much of a niche is what you do. Are you a particularly sought after specialist, or are you a mainstream Scrum Master who is competing with hundreds and hundreds of other Scrum Masters that are trying to snap those Scrum Master jobs off the market? So that is why, this is a little disclaimer I have to tell you, get it out of the way, because I don't know, maybe some people expect that they can receive a black and white sort of recommendation. I will try, because there is a generic, not rule of thumb by no means, but there is a generic feel among recruitment personnel and among us hiring managers or people who are advising hiring managers about those kind of topics, about those type of areas, those delicate things that are not being discussed. Because if you apply for a role, don't get it, trust me when I tell you, no one is going to tell you you didn't get it because you stayed too long in your previous job. It is considered to be awkward. I wouldn't say it's unethical, because it's a legit concern that an employer could have when considering you versus some other applicants, and that is what my job is as a career coach, as just your virtual friend here on YouTube to tell you about. But we tackle sometimes awkward, sometimes a little bit tougher kind of things that you are not going to find somewhere in the other publications or on some blogs, which is why we're talking about this topic today. From my perspective, and again, take it with a grain of salt, because I am only one man here. I certainly have certain experience, otherwise I wouldn't be talking to you, and I have also collated feedback from other people as well when I'm rendering this type of recommendation for you. But do consider that it is coming only from one person. It doesn't mean that whatever I'm going to tell you next, it doesn't mean that you do not have a chance to get another job if you stayed in your current role for too long, or what appears to be too long in my opinion. Also keep in mind that my expertise is mainly in Agile, Lean, Agile Project Management, digital delivery, business transformation space. I do not know all that much about the demand for specialists and how much value is being put on a certain tenure within specific organizations, where extra years or even sometimes decades would be seen as in your favor. Because what I'm trying to tell you here, and what I'm getting to, is that in our specific industry, and that is where my advice is coming from, in the industry of Agile Project Management, digital delivery, new ways of working generally, there is a certain stigma associated with the developers, or with not just developers but with the personnel, that comes from organizations where they stayed for too long. You do not want to be an edge case. You do not want to be extreme, either one extreme or another extreme. You do not want to be seen as a person who stays within companies without a good reason, unless you're a highly paid consultant who just comes in as a SWAT team. I've been like that for a while, and you are there for 6 months, and then again 6 months and you change, and then again 6 months and you change. But that is kind of traveling on the edge of you not staying in a company for too long, especially if you're not applying for a specialist, consultant, contractor job. If you're applying for permanent positions, people are going to expect that golden middle, as we'll call it. The golden middle of staying within a company and then expecting to comfortably be able to apply for other roles and be accepted without too much kind of stigma associated with this, without too much pre-filtering where people might just say, nah, it's a straight no from us, is between 3 and 5 years. Between 3 and 5 years is seen as a solid, respectable kind of tenure of a permanent employee. Once again, in the Australian market, professional services market, it is not unheard of when people are staying within companies for that long on contracts, on extendable every 6 months or 12 months contracts. But it is less common, obviously, for more typical, more short-term contracts, which are extended every 3 or 6 months. Beyond 5 years is what I would call an amber zone. You know, it's when a yellow light starts flashing on the virtual dashboard of a person who is reviewing your application, your job application when they received it. Again, we're talking specifically Agile Project Management space, and I talk from primarily my experience in Australian job market. If you stayed within the same company between 5 and 8 years, you are still being seen as a very senior professional, as a person with who would bring wealth of experience possibly to our company, let's say, if I am talking about an abstract company. I'm not talking about whichever company I'm currently working for. But beyond 8 years is where that amber light turns red, in my opinion. Again, please take it with a grain of salt. I made every single effort that I could here to disclaim myself that this is just my opinion. But again, it is an educated opinion, and I wouldn't be sharing it with you here if I didn't believe in it or didn't have reasons to believe, or I haven't seen other people also operating within the same type of judgment space, let's call it, and we all get judged. Okay, please, let's not even delve into the areas where we'll say, well, you should refrain from judgment, we should do a lot of things. Okay, I'm sharing with you here what I share with my friends, with my clients, with people who come to me for advice. I tell you how the cookie crumbles on the market right now, and that's what you can expect from me. Okay, the cookie crumbles in such a way that if you stayed within the same company for over 8 years and you are claiming to be an agilist, and that's what I'm specifically talking about. I'm not talking about mining industry, I'm not talking about builders, I'm not talking about traditional project managers. I'm talking about people I am interested to hire. I'm talking about people who come to me for coaching, who want to get employed for those cutting edge agile and lean transformation jobs that pay big bucks. Okay, those people start suffering from having very clearly on their CV the history of employment where they've been in the same company for over, let's say, 8 years. It's not a magic number, but this is my number. I see over 8 years, and for me it's a bit of a red flag, especially because in 99% of cases, me, any recruiter, any hiring manager with a decent job on offer who asks for my help or even does it by themselves, but who I spoke to, operating within the space, these people apply similar judgment simply because they have you have competition, my friend. You have competition. There are so many people with qualifications similar to yours. Once again, I do not know the personal situation there, and that's what I said earlier. Personal situation, your specific skills, what you bring to the table, your publications, how well you're known in the industry, what you have done in the past, yada yada. All of this stuff plays a big role. It does. It does play a role, but because we don't know it, we have to look at it abstractly. Point is, don't stay within the companies over 5 years. If you are ever planning to continue moving your career, exploring, showing to the potential further future employers, showing that you have some fire in you, some desire to learn how other places even work, because our actions speak louder than words. Overused phrase, but it's so true. I don't care what you're gonna tell me. I don't care what you wrote in your CV. Okay, I care a little bit, and everybody does. But ultimately what I'm trying to highlight to you is that what matters is that what you have done in the past. Your actions. Have you posted any LinkedIn posts? Are you passionately participating in some working groups of Agile practitioners? Have you updated your CV? Did you bother to actually reach out to any recruiters and ask what the market is like? Did you invest into yourself and hire a career coach to actually take a look, a snapshot at your particular persona? Did any professional revolving in this space give you any recommendations? No? Well, I'm sorry, then you are just lagging behind the competition, and it's all about the edge, isn't it? You may be fantastic, beautiful person to talk to, fantastic when people get to know you. Problem is, people will not get to know you. There is a huge competition on the market, and if you don't seek that edge, then you're not going to get there. It's just as simple as that. So golden middle, 3 to 5 years, over 8 years starts getting a bit funny. I hope I'm coming very strong and clear to you guys, because this is how I like to come across, all right? I appreciate you tuning in. Thank you very much. Apologize for the quality of the video this time around. I had to use my Skype setup, the one that I use to talk to my clients, people who like to engage with me for some coaching sessions via Skype. It happens all the time. And this is the type of quality you can expect from Skype sessions, all right? Very much appreciate if you would subscribe and kind of support the growth of the channel. The more of us here in this Join Agile Club, the merrier. And I will talk to you next time.